Welcome back. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I'm Jeff, and this channel is where I review my personal gun collection and I share it with you guys. If you like this content, click that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. It'll help the channel grow. Also, hopefully it'll give me opportunities to work with other YouTubers and maybe some companies down the road. Also, the icon button, and it looks like a bell. If you click on that, you'll get notified of my latest uploads. That being said, let's get on with the review. I promised myself that I would not purchase another Glock, specifically the Glock 45, when I already have the Glock 19X. And the gun is clear. I started pricing out slides. I wanted a custom cutout slide for RMR and for front serrations in one of my other Glocks. And the prices were kind of up there. So for a little more, I figured I'd wait until the Glock 45 MOS came out. I contacted J&K and Associates, and they gave me a hell of a price. So here it is. So this is going to be a kind of an unboxing-ish. The gun's already been modified. We'll go over the specifics on the RMR plates a little bit later in the video. It's going to come with your safeguards. I would highly recommend you read this. Like I said, we'll go over these plates in a minute. Here's the actual Glock 45 MOS. And as you see here, I already have a Trijicon RMR. This is a Type 2 with a 1 MOA dot. Hopefully you can see it there. Pretty crisp, pretty clean. I chose a 1 MOA because if you go with a 3 MOA or bigger, you can't go smaller. So if you go with a 1 MOA, all you gotta do is adjust the brightness and your dot will get bigger. So that's what I chose. These are AmeriGlow suppressor sights. These are in green, and they do co-witness through the red dot. Absolutely love them so far. And as we can see here, hopefully you can see, the gun is clear. Here's your second mag. Going back to the RMR and the installation of the RMR, here are the plates that come with the gun. For the Trijicon RMR, you're going to choose plate 2. And a good note to take from this, the screws that actually come with the RMR are too long. So while I was at J&K Associates, we realized that we did not have extra screws with us. You can order the actual proper screws through Amazon. J&K actually shaved the screws down right there on the spot, which do come with Loctite. Installed the RMR, and then about 4 hard rounds later, this thing is shooting spot on with no problems whatsoever. Now as far as the trigger, it feels just like the Glock 19X. It's got a crisp break on this. There's your take up. No grittiness whatsoever. And then that's what it's gonna feel like when you hit the wall. So we'll do a trigger pull on this and see what it actually is. I'm guessing probably around 5 pounds or so. Here's a reference point. This is your Glock 19X. I mean, they feel exactly identical. A little bit of take up. Yeah. And comparison's sake, actually you can see that red dot. Hello. The sights obviously are a lot taller. Again, these are AmeriGlow suppressor sights. You absolutely want to have these sights on, in my opinion. If you're not used to a red dot, which this is the first one I've owned, getting used to it will take a little bit of time. You definitely want to spend some time at the range. You're probably going to have to adjust it a little bit. At nighttime, it's going to be very difficult to pick this up if you're not used to it. So, with suppressor sights, especially the ones that are glowing in the dark, is much easier. I highly recommend this, especially if you're going to do a home defense. Definitely train with this, get your night sights. I would not have this without night sights if you haven't trained with this an awful lot, especially for home defense. Take it for what it's worth, but that's just my opinion. You got your cleaning rod, Traditional, same old thing. Pretty cool to include it. And then you got your back straps. I leave mine with the factory strap that came with this. I really don't know if this is a small or what this is. But going back to the gun, yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you're looking for an actual holster for this, there's numerous holsters out there that you can purchase. One of the things I found out was pretty cool, Outlaw Holsters actually have one. It's about $50 or so. And this holster right here is actually for a Glock 20 with an Olight, full-size Olight attachment. So interesting thing about this is that if you take your Glock 19, 45, Glock 4, Glock 19X or Glock 19 with your Olight, even with suppressor sights, it will still fit with positive retention. It's a bit close. Gun is unloaded, so you see it pointing at the camera here. Suppressor sight barely fits in there, but it actually works. It's got great retention. So for an outside the waistband holster for 50 bucks, if you have a Glock 20 and you have this particular holster, it will work. As far as this Olight, you don't have to have a full size. You can go with the PL Mini 2. You can install this on there. Highly recommend this light. This light is freaking amazing. Absolutely love this light. It's extremely bright. I mean, I don't know if that comes across on the camera or not, but yeah, and it's adjustable too. So that's pretty cool. This is what it's gonna look like after a couple hundred rounds. It's really not that dirty, to be honest with you. I did lube this up a little before I went to the range. I make sure all my guns are wet before I shoot them. Some people do, some people don't. This is gonna be the inside of the gun. It's really not that dirty, to be honest with you. But shooting at 25 yards, this thing was spot on. Again, it took me a couple adjustments with the RMR, but once I got the RMR adjusted, 25 yards was no problem whatsoever. Now for home defense, that's a bit far. My property, at least inside my house, is not, the longest hallway I have is about 10-15 yards, so I won't be shooting 25 yards if I absolutely have to defend my life. But during testing, that's where I tested at, 25 yards. And yeah, it's a little bit, it takes a little bit to get used to, obviously, with the RMR. But I have no complaints whatsoever. I would have to say so far, this is the most dependable platform I've ever shot in reference to Glock. Over the FN 509s, over anything else I've ever had, which I currently have a lot, and I've had a lot. Some guns felt better in the hand. You know, the Glock 19X, it feels better in the hand. And other guns, like the FN 509, feels better, but I shoot this better. So I say when you go to grab a gun and you're at a store, I highly recommend, if you can, shooting that gun at the range. If you can rent it, or if you have a friend that has it, before you purchase the gun. That way, when you spend that kind of money on a gun, you know that it's right for you. That concludes this video. I appreciate you guys checking it out. If you guys have any questions or concerns or anything at all, please drop a comment, like and subscribe. That would greatly help the channel. And again, thanks to J&K Associates. Those guys are freaking awesome. Hell of a price point. Helped me out on the spot with the RMR. And the only thing I can say besides that is you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you at the next review.